alas, it's working, but no pressure sensitivity, so... Yeah, I did, however, check the bank statement, and it seems like Amazon did charge me for the new tablet that I bought right at the beginning of that last stream. So, it looks like on Wednesday, I'll be getting my new tablet. Yay. So I just have to kind of survive with this one for just a tiny little bit. Just a little tiny bit. Let me actually switch to my whatchamacallit, live stream panel. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, no pressure sensitivity. We're just gonna have to work with this one just like we did with the previous piece, which I should probably open. Kitchen crop and dining room crop. Welcome back. I don't know if you guys caught any of that. What I was talking about. Okay. Yeah, so I just gotta hold out till Wednesday. Till Wednesday. And pray to God that that tablet is actually gonna work. Also, I just realized that crap. Okay, well, I just realized that I have not set up the audio because OBS is not smart enough to memorize all the audio settings I did before. I'm just gonna quickly set that up for a second. Okay. Okay. So it did memorize some of this stuff. There we go. That ought to do it. Only problem with it. That's right. I should not be hearing myself. There we go. The only thing is that it makes my $100-something microphone sound like a goddamn $20 Skype piece of garbage. Just because of no room acoustics. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. Ah, son of a bitch. My vanishing points are vanished. Damn it. Tits. Always make copies. Always make copies. Don't be a me. Always make copies. I think I know what I have to do. Yeah. Almost. Just about. There we go. Perfect. So this gets duplicated. Finishing point 1. And that goes over there. And I'm never doing that again. This is just about in place. There we go. terrible. You know what? I'm sure I can automate this. Best solutions are made up by lazy people. In fact, I could probably use the curves to my advantage. Okay. Thinking time. Let's see, how many of these things are there? 1, 2, so that's 1 rise, 1 fall. 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So there's 24 pairs of a rise and a fall. Okay, so let's automate this process. So there's a rise and there's the fall. Beautiful. Now there's 24 of these suckers. So actions. Copy, paste, transform. Not the entire thing though. So select, copy, paste, transform, move, connect, enter. Stop recording. Cancel that part. This. Here we go. So that's 3. There's a total of 24. 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, and 24. So that makes up 24 pieces. And I'd like to pick all of them up and not include this bullshit. Don't need that one. Now, select all of this. Stroke, actually on the new layer, stroke subpath, brush, move this out of the way. That looks decent. Now we need to select, copy, new layer, filter vanishing points. Okay. Here we go. Let's paste whatever it is that I was copying. And I can't see where it is. Okay, so we do that. And sketch. Get rid of these things in the background. Same thing. Aha. Go. That goes in here. And now we can kind of scale it down a bit. almost. In fact, I think I'm just overthinking this. Could have worked. But, yeah, I think I could just kind of do this. There we go. Who's still with me in the stream? Head count. Not that it matters, I still have to finish these pieces either way. Whoops. I see there's a lot of extrusion going on with these Victorian homes. A lot of, not just the wall, there's a little bit of a ceiling there, a little bevel here, pillars, carvings, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but for that I'm gonna need to lower down the ground level, so that I don't have to move the entire house and screw out the perspective. Uh-oh. Holy cow. The sun is starting to shine through the rooftop of my neighbor's house. So I gotta close my blinds. It's not tomorrow until I go to sleep and wake up. That's the rule. That's my rule. now that I think about it, this particular roof is not very Victorian. And thankfully, I have left some vanishing points to sketch it back. Don't need that. That can go to hell. This house is much more interesting to run in and out of. What the hell? Oh, that doesn't seem right. Ah, that's where the distortion's coming from. I see. Well, what the hell? Huh. Strange. Okay, that was me. For some reason the tablet wasn't working up to the full range. Like, there was a chunk of the tablet that wasn't moving the mouse for some reason. Huh. Scary, scary shit. Okay, and now it's moving across two screens. Okay. Okay, well, you know what? I think this house is becoming just a little too big and a little too extravagant. So let me roll back here. And rethink my design choices. Okay. Well, okay, this is a sketch layer. What the hell? That's okay. I just gotta survive until Wednesday. Until Wednesday. No, what I actually need? I need to get myself a directional microphone. This is an omnidirectional. It just picks up everything, like everywhere. I need a directional mic. So that even though it's in the midst of all this noisy equipment, it would still pick up only my voice. And then I wouldn't need a noise reduction measure. There we go. Okay, so let me perhaps just kind of sketch some stuff in here. So that would be the shed. Tiny little kind of mini house. Will I stream the modeling parts? Probably, yeah. Modeling probably gonna take way longer than this, but yeah. I'm gonna have to write a lot more ambient music to listen to that before I start modeling though. Like, holy crap. Hold on. I do have some more music that's not really copyrighted, and that's mine. SoundCloud. Oh. Here we go. It's a little tiny bit more upbeat. But, yeah. Should be okay. Oh, Dream Temple is on there. Ambient Discoveries. If anyone's wondering about all the music, this is the page with most of my SoundCloud links for more ambient and, you know, the stuff you're listening to right now. Sounds like cool. This is probably the first one I've actually sang on. This is like really old stuff. I like to do harmony. I should kind of try to make a music video for this one too, animate it in Flash. I don't want to make just a little destroyed greenhouse here. So this would be the entrance. Let me put that on a separate layer actually. Actually, this greenhouse would probably be better suited to being here. Instead of this tree. It's a lot easier to build stuff when it's in perspective. Once things get rolled off perspective, that's when we get some finicky things. Okay, let's see. Oh, horror music. Give me my Minecraft music. Give me my ambient Minecraft music. Okay, so this is kind of the place where I have to erase most of this stuff. oftentimes I see these greenhouses to be made out of glass, which gives me a grand opportunity to make some shattered glass panels. This is kind of the point where the whole sketching thing actually becomes sketching. Do I have any more tea? Please tell me I have some more tea. Oh yeah. Oh no. That was not a lot. Damn it. At least it's warm. Ish. I just remember there's this movie. Do you have Netflix by any chance? I think there's a movie on... I think this movie that I just remembered is on Netflix. It's just out of the blue. Whatchamacallit? I think it's called Now You See Me. It's a it is a horror movie. No, not Now You See Me. Oh, Don't Blink. That one. Well, if you find your sources, I would actually recommend this movie because there's almost no special. There's like pretty much no special effects, mostly camera work. It's very simply produced movie. Very little budget, but what is interesting, they have really used the resources they had to the best of their abilities, and I enjoyed it. Even though it's not a huge big budget movie, small cast, it was actually really enjoyable. I don't know why I remembered it, but maybe I should watch the movie again. It's really good. Okay, so sketch copy. I'm not gonna need any of this stuff. Except for this stuff that I just erased. Because that's the top of... Oh, oops, wrong layer. Holy cow. God damn it. Oh yeah, one notable thing about that movie, it's not like one of those cheap flicks that gets you with jump scares. It's actually like a suspense building film. Just kind of, that's probably why I just remembered it. Good watch, for sure. Okay. So, for this stuff, You know, movie scripts are not the only thing that I actually write. Before I got into video game script writing, I started with like small student movie script writing, so to speak. The only reason I'm saying student movies because it was at a fairly early stage. But since horror is my interest, I had this series idea, a horror. It's can't really do too much horror because I mean, what is an actually scary horror series out there really? Like what, Supernatural? Right. So the story for that that little series, I think it's at this point it's actually much better to be a web series, considering most of this stuff is web based. So the basic story while I'm working on this, a group of treasure hunters, as they call themselves, basically people with a bunch of guys with metal detectors looking for antiques of World War. They run a tiny little business of restoration, where they, restore the artifacts, metals, coins, and sell them on the auctions. So little tiny business. The problem is the business is not doing too well. So they decide to head out to a newly untapped territory that's located on a privately owned land. It's kind of like a world or country landmark. So metal detecting is strictly prohibited, but they know that it's a gold mine for artifacts. So they head out during the night with metal detectors and stumble upon a stumble upon sort of a strong signal. Dig it up, and it turns out to be a travel case, a huge radio, and a suitcase with unknown items. They have to open up the suitcase. And sorry, it's kind of gobbled up because I have to kind of concentrate on this. So they dig up the stuff, with the basic cliche manner of the security guard going through the woods and be like, hey, who's there? So we gotta get out, blah, blah, blah. They get home and they open up the suitcase, crack open the case, and they find a whole bunch of Nazi documents, mostly paperwork, a lot of papers, documents, seems like instructions, with this giant, radio. One of the guys gets to cracking on, restoring the radio, considering it looks like first of all, it's a war relic, which adds an immense amount of value. Second of all, the documents, if proven authentic, same thing. It's like a museum auction find. For them, it's basically the point where they can actually save the business. Well, the kid who cracks open the case. Let me actually turn the music that's more appropriate to this story. The kid who cracks open the case we go. The caterer cracks open the case, starts giving out, things to look around. There seems to be a locket, a piece of passport, looks like a picture, a frame, small little trinkets. And obviously the radio. The radio is busted, can't really work with it. Well, they seem pretty happy, they've stumbled upon what seems to be a treasure. Well, 3 days passes as they try to figure out what the treasure that they found is supposed to be. They try to prove authenticity for the documents, try to get the radio working, and in 3 days, this is where the haunting begins. So to the point where they have never, ever, seen a ghost. They've never seen a phantom. They've never had a single paranormal incident. Considering in that world, it's basically like in ours. There's no paranormal unless it's proven with concrete evidence. Other than that, it's just fake videos and speculation. Well, everybody who opened up, who touched something from the case starts being haunted, basically. So they start thinking, what the hell? And right around that point, one of the guys, the tech guy, fixes the radio, and they find a translator to take a look at the documents. One of their friends, so to speak. They mail in the documents, and their buddy, the translator, comes back with jokingly saying, "Where did you find this? This is kind of silly, but this would make a good story." And essentially says, this case contains a number of haunted items, and the case was assigned. This case that contained the radio and the haunted items was assigned to a special divisions unit, an assassins unit, that specialized in assassinating targets using haunted items. So what they would do is they would plant evidence. Let's say they say, we need to assassinate this general or this admiral or this VIP person. They would plant evidence, fake evidence. They would plant intel. And with the intel, they would slip in a haunted passport, a photograph. And as soon as the subject comes into contact with the haunted item, in 3 days, he becomes basically a target of a paranormal haunting. And the haunting continues until the person dies. So until he has a heart attack, he commits suicide, until the haunting doesn't stop until the target is basically dead. So flash forward, what is the radio? They figure out that the radio is a way of predicting when a ghost is nearby. And these aren't just random ghosts. These are very specific picked ghosts that have attachment to certain objects, which is how they use objects in order to assassinate people of interest. So they find out throughout the series that there was supposed to be an extraction unit for extreme cases, when mistakes are made, when you need to cancel an assassination. There's an extraction unit that contained a seal machine. Essentially, it would take the paranormal entity when it's nearby, and it would seal it within, kind of like, Ghostbusters style. And their goal is now to go through known documents in order to locate this extraction unit, in order to locate the device that was meant to save them. And on average, from the reports, they say they have about 2 to 5 months to figure this out before the hauntings become so severe that it becomes life-threatening. Well, this is the story that I wrote in high school, and I really hope that at some point I will be able to turn that into an actual web series. As you can see, most of my ideas, they're like heavily science fiction inspired. A lot of the stuff is. Even with this game, even with Wayholm, even though, you know, it has nothing to do with the story I just told you. This is, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes, a lot of terminology that goes into this. And the players would be able to find documents which would kind of introduce them to that terminology. Wow, this almost looks like I've been drawing in ink pen. This weird hue. Now I know that for this particular piece there's still quite a lot that I have to do. So we've got our busted up greenhouse. There we go. I know I have to work on a little bit more on the exterior of the house, and I have to figure out a point of interest for this area. Obviously with the rooftop, I'm gonna go with the standard Victorian brick. probably even... In fact... Alright, so how about I will end this here, considering we have done a lot, and I'm going to probably get a little bit of sleep, continue this, and we'll finish this off. There isn't really a lot that I can do right now. Not a lot that I can come up with. But I think with the next stream I should be able to finish this particular piece. Considering it is kind of a big one. It is just a tiny bit upscaled up there. Okay. What do you guys say? Actually, not really. I'm just kind of in the drawing right now. I could probably go for like another 5 hours, but I figured if I actually get some sleep now, I should get up at like an appropriate-ish time, considering I'm not a lazy piece of garbage, and wake up instead of going right back to sleep after the alarm rings. And if I do that, then I'll have a whole lot of energy and a refreshed point of view on my artistic choices. And that's basically all it is. And who knows, maybe my freaking tablet's gonna do pressure feature again. If it'll so grace me. Okay, alright, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Maybe 5 to 7 hours. Provided I'm not a lazy piece of shit. Bye, thanks for joining, and thanks for your time.